92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
The guy on the phone for a second date update today feels like he wasn't on his A game when he went on the date with the girl we're about to call. Her name's Abby, right, Scott?
Yep, Abby, yes.
How you doing? Thanks for emailing the show.
For sure. I really appreciate you guys hearing me out on this. Thank you.
I read your email. I like how you initially got her number and got your dinner date. Why don't you tell everybody how you did that? That's pretty smooth.
I appreciate that. So, I'm a busy guy, so sometimes I only have a little bit of time for lunch, so I ran down to one of the lunch trucks, and I noticed a cute girl behind me on the line. And I was trying to figure out when the line was moving forward, like, oh, man, what can I say to this girl? Like, how can I initiate this conversation? So I turned around to her, and I blatantly lied to her. Actually, I said, hey, I've never been to this lunch truck before. Do you have any recommendations?
See? That's a good idea. Now,
that's A-game material right there.
But when you do that, you got to make sure you've never been there before, or they're not going to recognize you. So you're like, oh, dude, I've never been here. What's good? And then you walk up to the front. They're like, hey, Scott, how you been?
You're regular for you?
Yeah. Just get you the usual.
I'm assuming that didn't happen, right, Scott?
It didn't, fortunately. It didn't.
Yeah.
So basically, we talked. We started talking. I made her laugh a couple times. She made me laugh. I was like, oh, this girl's pretty cool. So, I get my sandwich, and we go over to the side, and I wait for her to get hers. And then as she's walking over, I say, hey, Abby, I really appreciate the lunch recommendation. Since you gave me a recommendation, I actually wanted to give you a dinner recommendation.
Oh, I see. Look at that segue.
See, that's what I was talking about. That's the part that I like.
That is smooth,
You gave me a lunch recommendation. I'm going to give you a recommendation. You come hang out with Scotty Boy for dinner.
5 stars on Yelp.
So she liked it, obviously.
She did, yeah. She shook her head, but
yeah.
she thought it was cute. So
Where did you guys go to dinner?
we just went to a spot downtown. It's this little sushi spot that I know about, and it was awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt off.
Well, that's what your email said, that you weren't on your A game. What does that mean? What is your A game?
I hadn't worked out that day, and so I felt a little bit off physically, like I wasn't in it, like I wasn't showcasing the full me.
Do you mean like you were tired and just kind of off mentally because you hadn't worked out, or are you talking about like your biceps weren't bulging from the pump from the gym before?
I mean, probably a little column A, a little column B,
Yeah.
One leads to the other.
Did she notice that anything was off?
I don't think so. It's not like it was like leaving the conversation to go cry for a minute and come back.
But I mean,
Sounds like it.
She's also not calling you back, so she might have noticed.
No, I mean, I pride myself kind of on being a witty guy, and I just didn't feel like I was on it. I just didn't feel like I was sharp that night.
How much did you bring up your workout regimen and your muscles? Because in our conversations, it's come up a lot.
Well, I mean, I feel like it directly affects a lot of parts about me. I probably brought it up a little bit. It's a part of my life. It's something that I pride myself on. So,
anything that was notably awkward, or anything that you said where you noticed a weird reaction from her? Or...
I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. It's funny because we go for a walk, we look at the stars, and it'd be that moment where you'd like look at each other. And I was like, normally I'd go in and try to get that kiss, but like it's just so I just felt like deflated. It was really weird. So, and I'm sure there were some times where she was kind of like, oh, what's going on with this guy?
Was it that tension? Like, it's like, okay, now's your opportunity to kiss her, but you kept passing on that?
Totally, yeah. I didn't understand it.
That's the worst.
That is.
Do you think that you guys just don't have chemistry, maybe? I mean, are you trying to make something that's not there?
I'm thinking about her. The fact that I wrote this, I wrote to you guys because, I like her. I wouldn't write to you guys for anybody. So I think it was just me. I was off. Like I said, I just got to make sure I get my workout in. So I'm really feeling on point.
How many times have you tried to get a hold of her since your date?
Sent her a couple of text messages, and, she responds to them, but, like, it takes a long time to respond.
Okay.
Normally if you're excited about something, you respond quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just text. I didn't try to call her or anything like that. I don't want to weird her out.
Have you actually asked her out again, or are you just trying to make conversation and you notice that she's being a little slow?
Yeah, I would say more the latter. Because I mean, I haven't gotten that like green light that she's like enjoying talking to me or anything.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update. Okay.
All right. That's fine. Thanks again, guys.
All right, man. Hold on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Scott, I want to let you know during that song, I was able to slam a protein shake, so I'm on my A game. This second part of your second date update is going to go great. I can feel it.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, no problem, bro. If anybody's tuning in right now, Scott is on the phone with us. He went out with a girl named Abby. Feels like he wasn't on his A game during the date because he didn't work out earlier in the day. And there's nothing really glaring that happened during your date that you can think of, Scott. You just felt kind of awkward? about the whole
Yeah,
thing?
just a little awkward. Yeah, just a little off. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me.
I will say, I think it takes a big man to admit that he wasn't on his A game. Like, most people call in, they were like, I did everything perfect. I don't know what went wrong.
But Scott hasn't even directly asked Abby out yet. You just aren't getting the right vibe.
Yeah, exactly. You guys know how that feeling is.
All right.
I do.
I get you. Well,
We're gonna
there it is.
We're gonna give her a call right now, Scott. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go, man.
Hello,
Hi, is Abby there?
this is her.
Abby, this is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5. How are you?
I'm sorry.
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning on the radio station moving 92.5.
Okay.
Abby, I'm calling you because you recently went out with a friend of the show. His name is Scott.
Okay.
And Scott really liked you and enjoyed your date, but he's kind of getting a really weird vibe from you that you don't want to see him again.
He's getting a weird vibe from me.
Yeah. Should it be the other way around?
I mean, I don't want to throw anybody into the bus or anything, but I don't think I'm the one that's being weird.
You think that Scott is weird?
Honestly, I don't know him, so I can't say that. But
Oh,
Abby,
man.
Abby, I talked to Scott about the night you went out because I was asking him about your date, and he says he feels like he wasn't on his A game. Did he seem kind of off to you?
I mean, that's what he said to me that night. So
He told you that he wasn't on his A game?
Oh, no.
yeah.
Okay, that's kind of a weird thing to say.
Well, at least he was being honest. But how do you go from being off to being weird? Those are two totally different things.
You know, there's this one moment that I went into the bathroom and, I was gone for a couple minutes and I came back and he wasn't facing the bathroom, so his back was towards me. And I was getting closer to the table and I saw that he was kind of moving his head up and down. And I kind of thought that was weird and I went up to him and I was like, hey, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, I missed my workout, so I'm just getting in some butt clenches.
What? Some butt clenches
butt
at the
clenches?
table?
Oh, Abby, are you sure he wasn't joking?
He had to
That's
have-
so ridiculous.
Amazing.
He had to have been joking with you, Abby.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I thought that he was joking, so I laughed.
So he's basically working out while you're at dinner.
Right.
Yeah, that's weird. That is weird, Abby.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a pretty solid body. I got to say that. He's a very attractive guy. And obviously that was one of the things that he kept wanting to talk to me about. And I eat healthy. I try to go for walks or I'll go for hikes with my girlfriends and stuff. And there was one point where he asked me, he was like, oh, what gym do you go to? And I told him I didn't go to a gym. And he started asking more questions, like, why? What's so bad about working out? And I was like, it's just not my thing. I've never been into going to the gym. And he literally goes, look, sweat dries, blood clots, bones heal, suck it up, princess.
What?
Say that again. What did he say?
Sweat dries, blood clots, bones heal, suck it up, princess.
Oh, my gosh.
So he's basically like, get in the gym.
Did you
Quit
just...
being a crybaby.
That's awful. And so condescending.
What would you say to Scott if you could talk to him right now?
No.
I would say don't be a douchebag.
Simple. Get to the point.
Okay?
I
Hey,
like that.
Scott,
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
did you hear that?
Oh, gosh.
Abby, I should probably let you know that Scott's on the phone and just heard what you said.
Everything?
Everything.
Everything.
That sounded like a wounded little puppy.
Say hi to Scott, Abby.
Hey.
So that's how you feel about me, huh? That I'm a douche. That's it?
Oh, my God. This is so awkward. I didn't say douche. I don't think I called you a douche.
Yeah, you did.
Well, let me clarify. You didn't call me a douchebag. You just called me a douche. So,
Yeah, there was no bag in it.
yeah, douchebag light. I guess.
Scott,
You were working out at the table.
yeah. Were you actually doing that, Scott? That's kind of weird, man.
I was. I wasn't even thinking about when she went to the bathroom and I was doing those, to get a couple butt clench reps in.
Those are real?
She came and tapped me and told me, like, hey, what are you doing? And I immediately was like, oh, shoot. It's kind of blew my cover, so I just told her what was going on. Any other reason for me to be clenching my butt over and over again was probably worse.
Yeah, that's true. But, workout thing's forgivable. What about princess?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everybody should work out. It's not just a you thing. It's like an everybody thing. Like everybody needs to, feel that exhilaration. You know what I mean? Like it just really kind of sets you off every day. So, I want that for you. And when I hear that you don't want that for yourself, I'm thinking, here's a girl who wants to be like pampered and like, all right, what am I, feed you grapes? Like,
You didn't pamper me though. You wouldn't even let me order anything that I wanted to order.
Wait, he was stopping you from ordering food?
Yes.
What?
I tried to get the spicy tuna roll thingy, and you were like, "Oh, it's fried. You shouldn't eat fried food. Go straight to your waist."
All right.
Dude, Scott.
it was just a suggestion. I didn't tell you had to do it. I'm not going to walk your hand through life.
It wasn't a suggestion.
Why do
You
want that? You're fine.
specifically said, "I'm not going to pay for this and contribute to obesity in America."
He's doing his
Scott,
Abby! How are you
If you're
still
going-
at the table?
You know what? No, I don't even appreciate this. She's blowing this up. She's getting all smoke because she's on the radio and people are laughing at her right now. There's no way I was this bad.
Abby, would you like to go out with Scott again? We will pay for a second date. We'll make sure it's on his cheat day where you can order whatever you want, and we'll tell him to make sure he goes to the gym beforehand so he's not doing exercises at the table.
I just can't, in my right mind, say yes to another date with him.
Thank God.
Oh,
He was
man.
awful.
I'm just not into that type of person. I'm not into that lifestyle.
Oh, yeah, that healthy lifestyle? Yeah, well, have fun living till you're 52.